News conferences. Um, when we talk about earned media, we can do earned media by doing news conferences or some sort of media event. It doesn't have to be a news conference, but when you do a news conference, that's when you're bringing the media to a very controlled environment and you're controlling the message. This particular gentleman, Lee Allen Jones, I was an advisor for his campaign running for U.S. Senate in Illinois. And at the time, Lee Allen tried to hold as many press conferences as possible. And the one that still sticks into my mind to this day is up in Rockford, Illinois. Lee Allen's from the south side of Chicago, and he wanted to go to Rockford because at the time, Rockford had an unemployment rate almost nearing 30%. I think it was around 26, 27% at the time of his campaign. He wanted to go more of the east side of Rockford, which is a little bit more developed. A lot of people are on that side. Businesses are on that side. And I said, let me take you to the west side. Let me show you what has left Rockford. And we saw what globalization has done since the 80s in Rockford. And all these businesses have left. And now they're just a skeleton, a shell of what they once were and everything. And I say, I think this is a much better picture. If you're talking about unemployment, you're talking about jobs, how to raise, the economy of Illinois, I think we should have it here. So you have the backdrop of these abandoned factories and businesses in Rockford and everything and why they left. Now people are seeing that in the background. Now they're seeing someone who can also speak to these issues because he has some familiarity of what he has seen in the south side of Chicago that's also represented in Rockford at the time and the west side of Rockford and what have you. So this is the kind of thing. So it's not just you, the candidate, or you, the organization and the campaign, and you just talking. You have to, there's a little bit of production to this, what is the technical production that you want to convey and everything. So in this case, it was the behind the scenes of this abandoned building in the background, and people have to come to the west side to see it physically and everything. And then once it was on the TV, the viewers can see like, oh, okay, I know where Lee Allen's at. I know where that candidate's at. I know what they're talking about. So there's that. So this is why we need to control the environment and everything. And sometimes we can be fortunate enough to go into possibly a university or another organization's facility and kind of we can kind of dictate as to, can we have this kind of backdrop? Can the candidate or representatives of the campaign stand over here? We can probably have that kind of flexibility. But if you're doing more outdoor things, be creative. Talk. What are you trying to convey on the nonverbal sense of the media event and everything, other than what the candidate or the representative of the campaign is talking about? That really sets the scene also. Oh, and then this is another one of the El Milagro strike that was going on in the Pilsen neighborhood of Chicago. Again, these are workers of El Milagro, which is the tortilla factory in Chicago, and again in Pilsen. They're standing in front of the buildings. They're actually in Pilsen. They were holding media events around Pilsen and going to different businesses that were selling and using their products. This is what they were doing during like their strikes and everything. So like this is something that's done at a very neighborhood level and everything. So keep this in mind also when we're doing like this kind of organizing campaigns as well. How can we utilize the neighborhood? How can we utilize the area that we're in order to convey the message?